Welcome once again to Chelan County Connection. I'm your host, Randy Rhodes, welcoming Mike Kaputa, the director of Chelan County Natural Resources. Mike, how are you today?
Randy, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, how's the springtime weather treating you?
Spring is a good time. We're gearing up for a big construction year, so we're watching the weather forecast and getting all of our permits in place, and we're looking forward to a very exciting summer.
You are the director of Chelan County Natural Resources. Can you tell us what your job is about? How long you've been with the county and so forth?
Yeah, sure will, Randy. So I've been here. This is my 28th year with Chelan County, so I've been very fortunate to be here and work here and live here. Not originally from the area, but community has just been wonderful. It's been a wonderful place to live and work. Yeah, so I'm now the director of the County Natural Resources Department. We have several divisions within the department. We do forest health work, water resources. We do some parks and recreation. I do other duties as assigned by the county commissioners. I'm one of the appointed officials and department heads working for the county commissioners. And yeah, we have quite a variety of projects. Happy to talk about all those things. We've seen quite a bit of growth in the department in the last 4 or 5 years. So we're up to about 20 employees and about a $25 million annual budget.
Mike, does every county have their own natural resources department?
There are counties who have natural resources departments. I think it just depends on how a county wants to organize themselves. Like a lot of the things that we do in other counties, you may find them in public works or in community development or in emergency management. And just over time, the commissioners, in meeting with the department heads and kind of looking at some of the new responsibilities for counties over the last 15, 20 years, we've just consolidated all of it into one department. So I would say the services and the things that we do are not necessarily unusual, but maybe the way we're organized, at least for Eastern Washington, may be a little different than other counties are organized.
Mike, we were talking a little bit before the show, and you have a very busy summer ahead of you and your crew. What are some of the projects that are starting design and construction? Can we hit on a few of those?
Yeah, we sure can. We have a busy summer, as I alluded to. We have 11 construction projects going into the ground this year, and there's quite a variety. One example, we're building a new pump station and delivery system for the Cascade Orchard Irrigation Company. That's an irrigation district that currently shares a surface water diversion on Icicle Creek with the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. So this is a big project that's part of the Icicle work group and the Icicle strategy, which is a large group of stakeholders and tribes working on water resource issues and in-stream flows in Icicle Creek. So we're building a new pump station for them. Just issued notice to proceed to Strider Construction. That's an almost $10 million construction project. And it's going to be going on for a while, with the irrigation season being, May through the end of September. There's certain work that Strider can do before May. Once we get into July and August, we have some what we call fish work windows. There are only certain times of the year when you can go work in the water. And that's when we're going to be building the pump station. And then we'll be building a bunch of delivery pipelines in the fall and then of 24 and then the spring. So it's a big project. Build it, but the Cascade Orchard Irrigation Company will have a brand new pressurized system that'll serve all the irrigation needs of people along mostly Icicle Road.
Mike Kaputa is our guest this time out on Chelan County Connection, and Mike's the director of Chelan County Natural Resources. What are some of the things that you really like about your job?
I think two things. I love the variety of the work that we do, and I love all the people that we get to work with. Almost all the projects we do are with private property owners or other districts or groups outside of the county, right? So we have a very large public interface with the community. And so, we get to work with some great communities and some great individuals. And we do a lot of community outreach, develop a lot of agreements between different organizations. We're trying to make Chelan County a better place to live, work, and play, as we say. And so we're trying to do our part with that. But really, I mean, we've been really blessed with the variety of people that we work with. And I kind of want to give a shout out to all of our partners who work with us, because there's a big network of people that we interact with, and we appreciate their support.
Mike, we kind of talked about some of the projects underway or kind of short term. There are a number of long-term projects in the works. And which projects would you like to, have people kind of keep on their radar?
Yeah, one of the big areas for us is looking at forest health and wildfire risk. So the county has what's called a Good Neighbor Authority agreement with the Forest Service. We're one of only 5 counties in the West who have that kind of agreement. And it gives us the ability and the authority to work on Forest Service property, right? So Chelan County's like 85% publicly owned, 80% Forest Service. They need more capacity, right, to do more work. And so we're entering into several agreements with them to do forest health work. So we're going to be doing commercial thinning, pre-commercial thinning, doing prescribed burning. And so the community is going to see a lot of activity and tree removal and thinning, coming up, really over the next 5 years in the Lake Wenatchee area. But we'll be expanding our efforts across the whole county. So just, in the long view, the Chelan County and a bunch of the communities in Chelan County are some of the highest risk communities to wildfire. And so we're trying to do our part to advance that forest health work.
Say, how much does the winter snowpack have to do with fires in the summer?
Yeah, well, quite a bit. It's I think I saw in the latest report where the snowpack is at something like 70 some percent of normal. Of course, that also means that the fuel, on the forest floor, is going to get dry pretty soon. That, of course, increases the risk of wildfire, and again, it doesn't mean we're going to have wildfires, but it certainly increases the risk of having more catastrophic wildfires. So yeah, we're concerned about that. It also extends the growing season, right? So then there's more fuel to burn. And so we're keeping our eye on that.
Say, Mike, clearly in your position, you're a lover of the outdoors. What do you like to do around Chelan County, for recreation?
I live in Wenatchee. I spend a lot of time in the foothills or up by the Mission Ridge area. Me and my Australian Shepherd just running around all over the place. So, and it's great that it's so close, right? I mean, it's 5 minutes away. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, that's what we're talking about close to home, but word around the campfire is you like to spend your vacations in faraway lands like Borneo. Now, share with us a little about why you find yourself in Borneo every year.
Yeah, well, I want to correct you on one thing. That's not necessarily a vacation, right? So, my wife has a she's a adjunct professor at Cambridge University, and she has a research project that is in Borneo, right? So, Borneo is, I'll say, between Australia and Thailand, right? So you kind of have to look at a globe, right, to figure out where that is. But yeah, she spends 3 months a year in Borneo catching birds, and it's a lot more technical than that. I just don't know the technical part. I go there to carry stuff, and but it's again, I'm really fortunate to be able to go there and help her out. We see orangutans and elephants and gibbons and all kinds of things like flying snakes and flying frogs and flying squirrels. So it is a unique experience, and we've been really fortunate to be able to go for the last every summer for the last 10 years.
Have you had any scary wildlife encounters there?
Yes, every day. every day. It is the true jungle. And either, the elephants are charging the vehicles, or you're picking up the wrong thing, from the jungle and infecting your hand. I mean, it's like the whole gamut. I have to say, and the scariest thing is just seeing something like a flying snake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
inherently scary. So, flying snake like landing, 3 feet from you, just it gets your attention.
It's bad enough when they're slithering on the ground.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, our guest this time out on Chelan County Connection, Mike Kaputa, Director of Chelan County Natural Resources. And I want to turn it back to you, Mike. Do you have any closing comments that you'd like folks to be aware of as we head into the spring and summertime?
We try to do our best, reaching out to the community to let them know what we do. And and I think you've seen some examples of this where the commissioners are holding community meetings. We hold community meetings. We're happy to come to other people's meetings or other organizational meetings too. We want to get out and interact with the community. So if anybody out there who's listening, would love for us to come speak, we'd love the opportunity.
Mike Kaputa, it's been great to see you again.
Thanks a lot, Randy. Appreciate it.
And thanks for taking time out on Chelan County Connection.
Thank you.